Hello, this is Lisa from Happy Stamp, and today we are going to be making this quilt card. I've got a couple of quilters in my customer base, so I thought I would give this one a try for them. So let's go ahead and get started. For the card base, you're going to need a piece of Very Vanilla. And we are going to cut that down to 5.5 by 8.5, and then we will score at 4.25. Give that a score or a good crease. Well, all right. All right, there is our card base. For other patterned paper and paper, we are going to need a piece of garden green, and that measures 4 by 4. A piece of cherry cobbler that measures 3 3/4 by 3 3/4. A piece of Very Vanilla that measures 3.5 by 3.5. And another piece of garden green that measures 2.5 by 2.5. And then you're going to need 4 pieces of patterned paper that match your cardstock. I'm using the This Christmas paper. And these little squares measure 1 1/4 by 1 1/4. And you're going to need 4 of them, but you're going to need 2 different patterns. So I'm just turning them over. I'm using 2 of this side of the paper and 2 of that side of the paper. When I cut my paper, I always notice that on the back side, you can always tell the back side because it's got a little lip of paper, I guess it is. I just take my bone folder and go around that, and it smushes it down. So now you can't really tell which side you cut on. Okay. All right. So I'm going to use 2 of this side, like I said, and 2 of this side. All right. The stamp set I'm going to be using today is Greetings from Santa, and I'm going to use this Happy Christmas to All and To All a Good Night on the bottom. And then on the inside, I'm going to use this tree, and all I did was just stamp that off with garden green. And put that on the inside, and just right over the top of it, just to give it a little something on the inside. All right, so I'm going to take the piece of cherry cobbler that is 3 3/4 by 3 3/4, and I'm just going to put some fast fuse on that, and that's going to mat the piece of garden green that is 4 by 4. So just try and get an even border on all 4 sides of that. Okay, we're going to set that aside. I'm going to take the piece of Very Vanilla that is 3.5 by 3.5, and I'm going to put that in the middle of my grid paper here so that the lines meet right in the middle. And that's going to give me my middle, because I'm going to put my piece of garden green right in the middle, and I want that to be very even. So I'm using my Tombow here, and we are going to put this right in the center. So we want the corners, all of the corners, to meet up with these grid lines here. So we just want to make sure that they're all square. And that's why I'm using Tombow, so that I can move it just a tad. Okay. Okay. Now we're going to take our 2 pieces of patterned paper, and I'm going to use Tombow again. You want to get the glue as close to the edge as you can, but with the Tombow, we're going to be running it through an embossing folder, so it's going to squish out a little bit. So it's not quite as important as it is like if you were to use snail or fast fuse. So we're going to put that right in this corner. Make sure it's right up against the edge of the garden green. Okay. Then we'll take our other piece of the same pattern. And that's going to go right up to the corner as well. All right. And if they don't meet quite up in the middle, no big deal, because we're going to be putting a button over that. So it doesn't matter. All right, so I'm going to take these 2 pieces of paper and we're going to cut those right down the middle. I'm just taking my paper trimmer and I'm making sure that these 2 corners are right in the groove. So you want to make sure that those are right in the groove and then give them a slice. And if it's a little hard for you to slice it right, oh, let me move that one, darn it. Let's see if it's okay. You can put it in the middle and then give it a slice. Let's see how this works. Well, let's see. I'm just going to give this a little shave right here so it's even. And same thing with this one. All right, so we'll do the same thing with our other square. Put that right in the middle of both of the groove there. Make sure that both points are in the groove. Put your blade right in the middle there. And then just press down. And there we go. All right. Now we're going to take this back and we're going to put our squares right next to the other pieces of patterned paper. So this one's going to go here and here and then here and here. All right, so we will put some glue on the back of our triangles here. And that's going to go right up to there. Make sure you get it flush to the edge. Okay. And then the back side of this one. That's going to go here. Make sure that's flat to the edge there. This one's a little crooked because of the way that I cut it funny, but I'll just square off that edge right there. All right. Then I'm going to turn this around. And we'll put glue on both of these ones. And that one will go here. These would be cute for a baby card. Make them in a baby pattern, and then or baby colors, and it'd be really cute quilt for a baby. So I'm just going to trim this one off here. All right, there we go. All right, now we can take this and we can put this on the back or on the middle of this card here. And I'll use some more Tombow to get that in the middle. All right, so that will go just like that. Get some of my stuff out of the way here so I can bring in the big shot. And I'm using the, big shot platform with one cutting plate. I'm using the, I don't remember what the name of this one is, but I'll have it on the screen. I'm putting this in here, just making sure that it's straight. And we're going to run that through. So that's just going to press all of the layers together. Goodness, usually it's not that hard to run through. There we go. Yeah, I only had, thought maybe I had my adapter on there, but I didn't. All right, so then here we go. Now it looks like a quilt. And I got some glue. I can see I have some glue here. So when this dries completely, it's not dry yet. When this dries completely, I will just take my adhesive eraser. Yeah, it's not quite dry yet, but as soon as it dries, it will come right off. All right, so we'll go back to our, well, first let's finish this. I'm using the Classy Designer buttons. I'm going to use the biggest one right here. There are 3 different sizes, and you get 24 in a pack. I'm going to take some of the Garden Green Baker's Twine, and I'll just cut a little piece off here. And I'm going to thread the button. I'm just going to go up through the back. Of both of them. And I definitely got a big enough piece here. Okay. And I'm going to tie this. And that, whoop. It's because I have glue on my fingers, so it's sticking all over the place. And now we will make a bow, if I can do that. Hopefully you can't hear Hunter in the other room with his therapist. They're having fun today. Just Bring these down smaller. All right. And we will cut the bottom of the legs off there, or whatever they're called. Tails, I guess they are. And I'm going to use a glue dot to put that in the middle of our quilt square. And you want to decide now, do you want to go this way or do you want it to go this way? And I like it going this way, so I'm going to put that in the middle here. All right, now I'm going to bring in my base and some garden green ink, my clear embossing powder. I'm going to emboss this with the garden green ink. So I want to have all of this ready, because you can emboss with our inks, you just have to be fast about it. I'm going to put this here, just set this here for the moment. In case I mess up, I don't want to have this on my card and then have to start all over. So we will just put that right there. Take my greeting. First, let me get my embossing buddy here. And that should go right about there. Got my garden green ink, my sentiment, and just going to ink that up real good. And that's going to go hopefully right in the middle, because I can't see what I'm doing very well. Alright, good. Now we're going to take this right into our powder. Alright, that looks good. See a little bit over here. Other than that, it looks pretty good. Okay. All right, let me get this stuff out of the way here, and I will bring in my heat tool. And I'm going to let this heat up for a minute. It helps a little bit with the warping. Make sure it's nice and hot. Alrighty. Now I'm just going to put some heat on the back side. That also helps a little bit with the warping. Alright. We will let that dry or cool down for a moment. Just wanted to make sure that it was dry. I couldn't really tell. Then I'm going to take my little tree here, again with some garden green ink. We'll get that inked up. And I'm going to stamp that off. And then that's going to go in the middle of our card here. Just like that. Ooh, looks like, oh goodness, I got some ink right here. Oh well. The life of a stamper. Make sure I got it wiped off so I don't get it anywhere else. All right, so we will take this now and put that to the front of our card. Some fast views. I want to make sure that I have it the correct way. All right, and there it is. Okay. So besides my little mess up right there, pretty good. If you have any questions, please feel free to leave me a comment below, and I will be happy to answer them. All supplies can be purchased through my online store at www.happystamp.stampinup.net. Thanks for watching and have a great day. Bye.